Come, walk down the winding path. Don't mind the spooks and monsters. They stay hidden within the trees. There are mysteries in this world that you need to know, and paranormal truths that need to be told. Come, step up into the caravan while we share tales of old, as well as new accounts about things you thought only existed in your nightmares.
Yeah.
So you want to talk about ghosts?
I do, of course. I'm excited.
Well, I know. Well, so I, have a couple different, stories that happened to me. Well, first, I was living in Arizona for a while, and I went to the Copper Queen. Have you ever heard of the Copper Queen?
No, I haven't.
Okay, it's a hotel in Bisbee.
Mm-hmm.
I got really intrigued. It wasn't far from where I lived, and I read a whole article about it being, filled with ghosts. And so I was like, wow, it would be cool to stay there. So in February 2009, I planned a weekend, and I specifically, asked the hotel, what room had the most activity. I'm a glutton for scariness.
Oh
so
my
goodness! I know they recommended a room called the Julia Lowell room, and they said that one had the most activity. So I said, if it's available, I'll take it. It was, and so they booked it. So I was pretty nervous when we were going up there because I didn't know what to expect.
Right.
But the hotel itself is very unique because it was built in it was started in 1898. It was built by the Phelps Dodge Mining Company, and it didn't get completed till 1902. So there's a lot of history there, and it's a 48 Victorian style roomed hotel. So they built it specifically for investors and dignitaries.
Wow.
So they had a lot of traffic of a lot of famous personalities that stayed there. So and each room is like different. Each room is like Victorian style, and they all have private baths, and they're all a little bit different. So anyway, the Julia Lowell room, actually the Ghost Hunters filmed an episode there.
Oh.
And they have the DVD in that room so you could watch it.
Are you serious?
So I watched it, and that guy, I think his name was Zach. Is that the guy that was in Ghost Hunters?
Maybe.
Zach.
It sounds familiar.
I think his name was Zach. Well, there was a scene that totally freaked me out, that he was laying on the bed, and this Julia Lowell actually committed suicide in the Copper Queen Hotel.
Wow.
And they said that the reason she committed suicide is because she was a prostitute.
Ooh.
And she used the hotel for her clients, and apparently the story goes is that she fell madly in love with one of her clients, and that when she told him that she loved him and wanted to be with him, he didn't want to see her anymore. So she took her own life at the hotel. So that's the story on her. And so throughout the years, I guess hotel staff and people that stay near that room on the third floor have seen like apparitions of females and dressed in Victorian, and they assume that it's her. And they also hear female voices, and apparently she likes to play around with the men, like goof around with their feet and stuff. Well, in the DVD, he was sleeping on the bed, Zach, and all of a sudden you see the blanket being pulled off of him.
Really?
Yes, there was nothing around him. And it's all on the DVD. And And actually, when I saw that, I was like, maybe we shouldn't be staying in this room.
Oh my God. Well, yeah, that's like really intense activity to be at that
Yeah.
point where you could actually move something that much. Oh.
Exactly. So, anyway, so we were in the room, and I was kind of like, I didn't go to sleep, but obviously,
Yeah.
I kept like trying to stay awake, and I didn't really see any activity in the evening, but something weird happened in the morning, and it was very strange. My husband was in the shower, and I told him that I was going to go downstairs and get some coffee for us and bring it up. So while he was in the shower, I went downstairs. I came back upstairs, and both faucets in the kitchen, it was a double sink, were running. I'm like,
Oh, wow.
why? And I was like, why does he have the faucets running? So I'm like, excuse me, Andy. I go, why did you turn on the faucets and leave them running? He goes, I didn't do that. I thought you did that. I go,
Oh
I
my
didn't touch
gosh.
the faucets. He goes, oh, come on, you're kidding me. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I was downstairs getting coffee. So that kind of like is like creeping me out. I'm like, how did those faucets get on? I was like, I had to look in the hallway too to see if there was like a maid or something that came in and was playing a joke, but there was nobody in the hall. Yeah, that was pretty freaky. Yeah, apparently that hotel has like three different ghosts in it. You know, there's an older gentleman, I guess, who has long hair and a beard, who guests can smell the aroma of his cigar.
Oh, wow.
Before they see him. And then that Julia Lull, been seen supposedly. And then I guess there was a little boy that apparently drowned in the San Pedro River. That I guess guests have heard giggling in the halls and stuff.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, so it was pretty cool. It was a cool experience, and it was a lot of fun. Yeah, and it was room 315. So if anybody wants to go to Bisbee, it's room 315. So yeah, so it was a lot of fun. And then my second experience were after I came back, I told my two teenagers about what happened. And of course, they were like so intrigued. They're like me. They're like, we want to go to another ghost thing like that. So I went on the. I know. When I went on the internet, I looked up haunted hotels in the Arizona area. Well, what came up was the Jerome Grand Hotel, and that's in Jerome, Arizona. So I asked them if they wanted to go there, like in July, and stay the weekend and do a ghost tour because they have ghost tours up there for the weekend.
That's cool.
And I know. So I was like all excited, and they were all excited, so I booked it. And so we went up there, and the history of the Jerome Hotel, I don't know if you know anything about it. Okay, well, it was originally a hospital. It was called the United Verde Hospital. So right there in itself, that there's a lot of deaths involved, because there was back in that time period, there was so many different things going on. It was like in the 1900s where they had so many diseases that a lot of people were dying. So about 9,000 people died in that hospital before it became a hotel, and they closed it. They closed the hospital, and then Then it sat empty for many years, like an empty building, until this father and son and a brother bought it from, believe it or not. Now, this I found really weird, because I just found out this little piece of history, is that the hotel in Bisbee was built by the Phelps Dodge Mining Company. The hospital was owned by the same company, the Phelps Dodge Corporation, which I find kind of weird. So anyway, so the uncle and the brother and the son opened the hotel, and it was boarded up for all those years. They bought it in 1994, and they started refurbishing it. And when they started refurbishing it, they started hearing weird noises. They were hearing hospital like gurney noises going down hallways and things. Yeah, and they were like totally freaked out. But then they're like, you know what? What are we going to do? We can't, we're going to open this hotel and, tell people it's haunted. Well, that's when, ghost hunting started becoming really popular. So what they decided to do was do the ghost tour. So what was so cool about this is that they really wanted you to document everything. So at the ghost tour, they hand you from the beginning of the ghost tour, like it starts like on Saturday, and they want you to keep all this equipment through like your stay, Sunday or Monday when you check out. And they want you to record, and they want you to record everything.
Wow.
And the digital pictures, they give you a digital camera, they give you an EVP box, they give you an EMF meter. And once they go through the whole ghost tour, you get to keep that and go around the hotel and explore and take pictures and do use the EMF and the EVP box. Yeah, and after that, when you turn it in, they take all your stuff and they download all the info and they put it on a CD, and they want you to go through, and if you see something, they want it documented because they want to make sure that it's documented that they have hauntings there. And so they have a 300-page journal that is filled by all these people that have had different weird experiences. Now, I can't say that we had anything weird happen in our room, but we did. I did have something weird happen to me when after the ghost tour ended. They told us, okay, you guys can go explore anywhere. Well, a couple weird things happened at that hotel when it became a hotel. There was a former caretaker before it was open, bought and reopened up, that stayed at the hotel, so there was no looters. And he used to stay in the hotel by himself, but he was kind of like the town, I wouldn't say drunk, but he would go into town on Friday nights after he stayed all week at the hotel by himself. And he would tie one on, and for all his life, and the town was so small, there was only one police officer who was the sheriff of the whole town. He, knew him personally, and one night he didn't show up, and everybody thought that was weird. So they were like, I wonder what's wrong with him. Maybe he's sick or something. Well, another week went by, nobody saw him. And then the sheriff, the next Friday night, he didn't show up again. So the sheriff's like, I better go up and check on him. So he went up and checked on him. And he goes into the building, and he's yelling out his name and stuff. And I don't even know what his name was. But anyway, he was yelling out his name, and he didn't hear him. And then all of a sudden he looks, and the basement area on the first level where his room was, he sees him standing there. And he's like, what are you doing? And he didn't answer. Well, he had hung himself, and his neck had stretched to the point he was standing. Yeah, very creepy. So, and then the other weird story that happened that nobody knows, how this even happened, was that the caretaker's name was Claude Harvey. He was the maintenance man. And then there was another guy that was another person that was taking care of the elevator, and he was working on the elevator in 1935, and the elevator came down and crushed him. Yeah, it was very weird stuff. But the fact that it was a hospital and there was over 9,000 deaths there through all those illnesses and different things that were going on.
Wow.
There were so many different things going on there. But anyway, so what happened to us was we got all our, camera and the EVP thing. And the hotel front desk guys, I asked him, I said, well, can we go back there where that Clarence guy hung himself and kind of explore that area? Now, there was no lights on back there. You know, there was just kind of like lighting from the hallway. And he's like, yeah, you can go back there. Just use your flashlight, you know, so you don't hurt yourself. And I said, okay. So I was going back there, and I was going really slow because I was all freaked out because it was pitch black. And I could feel my heart racing and stuff. And I'm like, you know what? This is kind of creeping me out. Maybe we shouldn't be back here. And I was about to turn around, and all of a sudden, a computer screen on this desk like lit up.
Gosh.
He goes, are you there? And I looked at the screen and said, are you there?
Oh
went,
my gosh.
And I go running out to the front desk of the hotel thinking that the guy at the front desk was playing a joke on me, you know, and like, you know, make me scared. And he was out smoking a cigarette. And I said, I go, did you just like go on the computer and come out running out here? And he goes, what are you talking about? And I go, well, the computer went on there in the room and it says, are you there? He goes, oh, that must be Claude. He must be like playing with you.
Oh my goodness.
And like I go, come on, you did that. That wasn't him. He's like, I'm out here smoking cigarettes. It's my break. I'm like, okay, that's weird. He goes, well, you better write that down in the book on the counter.
Oh my goodness.
That is too weird.
Wow.
So, yeah, that was my experience.
Well, geez. First off, you are much braver than I am because, I mean, I went to that hotel, the McMenamins one that I had posted pictures of in that little video clip. And, you know, it was the Masonic home for the elderly, and then it got turned into the hotel, and it just doesn't have, when you walk in, there's kind of like a comforting feeling, but there's also that like old-fashioned feeling. And I didn't know that it was haunted because it was a local place. So I've grown up going there, and I eventually learned when I was like 16, 17 that it had this haunted aspect to it. Well, McMenamins has it goes around and it'll buy buildings that it'll refurbish, and they have that reputation of being haunted. I really to go to a hotel that was part of something like a hospital, I think I'd be terrified to even visit during the day.
It was really creepy. And what was really even more creepier was reading the journals, you know, like the notes that people took, you know, that things that happened. Like I spent hours like sitting in there in the lobby just reading it. I couldn't like tear myself away from it. Like there was one instance where a little girl had a teddy bear, and every time they went back to the room, it was moved to a different spot.
Ooh.
And they thought it was the cleaning person doing it, and the cleaning person's like, no, I haven't even been in your room. And
wow.
Yeah, I mean, it was just like, I was like enthralled, you know, I really like story. I'm like, oh my God, all these like things that happened here. I mean, it was great. It was like really,
McMenamins has a ghost log as well, and it's fascinating to read through that and to see what these other people are experiencing. And it's so interesting. One of the things that you're talking about was the scent of a cigar. One of the things that they talk about with McMenamins is the scent of lavender, and they call her the Lavender Lady.
Wow.
It's amazing to me that hauntings can be like there's smells that go along with them.
Yeah, that's so odd, isn't it? I find that so odd. Like, how do they actually do that? I mean, like, how does a spirit actually create a scent? To me is really like, how would you even answer that? That's just so bizarre. So.
Well, exactly, because it's like in some way, I guess I can justify the movement from maybe an energetic thing, so that they're made of energy, and then I mean, if everything's
Right.
made of energy, then movement and that whole thing, but scent, that it just seems like it's a different world. I don't know.
Yes, totally. Like it's a different, like they're on a different plane.
Mhm.
Like I almost believe that. Well, obviously your soul lives on in the spirit world, but there's another realm to it, like another dimension for them to be
Right.
able to like interact with our dimension.
Mhm.
So because I mean, I really am a firm believer in spirits and ghosts and things like that because they're unexplained, and so often
Right.
you know have a medium who can actually speak to them and stuff and have be a filter, and they're there. It's not like they're not talking they're making it up, because I mean some mediums are fake,
Right.
but for the most part some of them are real and they can like hear those voices. I don't know what I would do if I actually heard voices. I think I would be like I would like have to do an exorcism on myself.
Yeah, there was one time that I mean, it just gives me chills thinking hear a whisper in my ear, and it was my name, and it was a man's voice.
Wow.
Nobody was there. I was by myself, and I still, it's just, and then I think that I've mentioned this before on the show too, that there was one morning that my girls and I were asleep in my room, and we heard a man's footsteps, and I heard his voice, my husband's voice, say my name. And it's the most hair-raising thing, because it's as real as the chair that you're sitting in,
Right.
but yet it's not.
Yeah, and it is. It's really freaky. Well, I remember specifically, that my grandmother, when she was close to passing, she was in a hospice, and I remember going to visit her, and I remember she was still pretty lucid, but she was failing quickly. And I remember her saying to me, Kathy, she's like, who's the lady in the corner that keeps smiling at me? And I turn my head,
Gosh.
and I look, and I'm like, I don't see a lady there. I'm like, I don't see anything there. I'm like, I don't know,
Wow.
Grandma. I go, who do you see? And she goes, I don't know. She goes, there's some lady in the corner, and she keeps smiling at me. And then
Wow.
I didn't know what to say, so I'm like, oh, I go, she's just making sure you're okay. I'm like who's over there? So I was like, I told my mom, I go, okay, Mom, that was a little freaky. I go, I don't know if she was hallucinating or if there was really somebody standing in the corner.
Wow. Well, yeah, that's amazing. It's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
whole nother
that
world.
exactly. Well, I'm so glad that I got to finally talk to you, about all this
Yes.
little stuff. And I will tell you that me and my friend Erin, we're planning a little adventure. We're going to go to a place in Tampa called the Oak Lawn Cemetery. It's supposed to
Oh,
be very
wow.
haunted. It's in the middle of Tampa, and apparently it's got a lot of old souls there, and supposedly it's haunted. So I will let you know if I find any experiences. I'll make sure I bring a little recorder just in case anything
Yeah,
happens.
I was just gonna say, definitely do a recorder, take pictures. I would love to be able to check it out with
Yes.
you. It's amazing.
Okay, sounds
Awesome.
cool. Yes, I would love to do that. Most definitely.
Well, thank you so much. No, this has been really awesome, and we'll definitely have to have you back on too.
Well, thanks. I'd love to. It's been fun. I love every night when I go to bed, I turn on one of your episodes and I listen to it. Yeah, it's awesome. That's
well, thank
my
you
favorite.
so much.
Yeah, you're doing a great job. I love it.
Oh, well, thank you. It's a passion, it's been a lot of fun. And I'm really hoping to, I got a car now and I just did a job interview yesterday.
I know, that's awesome.
Yeah, just lots of new beginnings. And I'm hoping that from this new experience, that it'll give me the ability to actually travel to more of the haunted locations that are around here and start, maybe going live and recording some stuff and just being able to have more content for the shows.
Yeah, that's great. Well, that's also good things coming your way. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll keep you posted about the cemetery trip, and good luck on the job, and let me know what happens. I'll be pulling for you.
Thank you so much. Well, you have a wonderful night, and we will talk again real soon.
Okay, sounds good, Jennifer. Have a great night. All right,
Bye.
Watch your step, lest you move on death. It lay there cold, eating underneath your last breath. Hold your tongue, still I've gone. The beast that follows is close, but we'll move on. Snake eyes always on my tail. Snake eyes always up ahead. Oh, snake eyes hidden in the dark. Snake eyes better catch a spark. Stand strong in the midst of peril and impending doom. Will you fight or run and hide? When the storm winds blow, will you have the strength to turn the tide? Snake eyes always on my tail. Snake eyes always up ahead. Oh, snake eyes hidden in the dark. Snake eyes better catch a spark. Oh. Snake eyes always on my tail. Snake eyes always up ahead. Oh, snake eyes hidden in the dark. Snake eyes better catch a spark.